welcome to another Pick a Pile reading. It's lovely to have you here. I'm the unobtrusive healer, aka Felicia, and I'm here to do a February predictions reading. So we're going to be breaking down your spiritual / personal experiences throughout the month of February. We'll look at your love life, so we're going to break it down in terms of singles, people in connections, and people who are in either like a situationship, no contact situation, or just inquiring about someone that you have on your mind in a romantic sense. We're going to look at the areas of sort of career / study and money, and we're also going to get through any other predictions, warnings, or blessings that want to come through with another tarot deck and with some charms as well. So don't forget also, I'm drawing the January gift card winner in the next couple of days. It's your final chance to comment and enter on any video. All you need to be doing is subscribing to my channel, and you just need to comment on any video and I'll reply to the winning comment to notify you, as well as post it on YouTube as well. It's also the final week to join the February Raise Your Frequency workshop, which is a 7-day spiritual and personal growth program. You can join from anywhere in the world. It's all online, all through email. So check out the details in the description box below. It goes for 7 days, but you can space it out if you wish. You can do it in your own time at a later date. It's really a program that is super flexible for anybody, anywhere, as long as you can read or interpret English. So yeah, check out the details below if you're interested in that. But let's take a closer look at these cards. So group 1, you have the Village. For group 2, we have the Pilgrim. And group 3, you have the Cave. So take your time if you need to. You can pause the video if you feel like you need to just take a few moments to take a few breaths and feel which card is pulling you towards it to read its messages. That will be where you can find out about your February. Take your time. The piles are quite different, but a couple of them have a few similarities, although they are very different at the same time, so choose wisely. But yeah, I'll see you over in your reading. Hi group 1, welcome to your February reading. Thank you for joining me here for this one. If you're here for group 1's reading, you were drawn to the Village card, and I'll give you another closer look. And the first thing we'll do before we get into any of your oracle cards today is we're going to go to the guidebook for this message. So this deck for me, I don't pull out very often, but then when I do get called to, I find that the message from the book is just so, I don't know, it's better than anything that I can channel through. But the first thing that I'll say is with this card, the first, I suppose, thought, or the first thing that I channeled was it takes a village to raise a child. And then the funny thing is, looking at this card, it's very empty. So I feel like there's a message in that that's going to kind of come through, because this feels like, you know, yeah, it takes a village to raise a child, but like, where's my village? So this could be relating to like your tribe or your soul fam, and feeling like you either don't belong, or feeling like you are lacking your tribe or your village, or feeling like you don't belong in the village that you're currently in. There's something along those lines, because I just feel like, as much as there is a beautiful horizon over this mountain, where this hand is, it's very dark, it's very bare, it's very isolated. It doesn't look very comfortable in this place. So we're going to see how that ties into your reading. So the first thing I'll do is grab the guidebook for that one, and we're going to read it together. 1:45. Okay, so it says here, the keywords under the village are the hometown, the family, and the tribe. Okay, so the village presents us with a conundrum. On one hand, it's the place that feels most like home, the place to which you can always return. Nostalgia and comfort draw us back. On the other hand, it's the very place you must leave in order to grow. Around the village, an unspoken boundary exists, one most villagers do not want you to cross. Though some support your leaving, still you hear whispers of doubt as you venture beyond its borders, leaving them behind. The energy of the village is present any time we feel restricted by a certain group, community, family, place, or ideology. It may have served us in the past, yet staying within its parameters will never satiate our thirst for life. I don't know if I said that right. I'm getting so many messages coming through while I'm reading this that I'm like not even taking any of it in. I'm kind of just, I'm almost trying to tune some of the messages out because I'm like, I can't focus. Satiate. Anyways, our thirst for life. Thank the village for all it has provided, knowing you will someday return. For now, the world awaits. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I'm being flooded with messages coming through at the moment. And I'm kind of like, wait, not now. But that's the message from the book on the village, which is a lot about what I was kind of bringing through. So one of your real overall energies of the month is this card here. So one of the main things you're dealing with is either an urge to relocate, travel, find your tribe, find where you belong, expand in some way, and basically feeling like where you're currently at in some aspect of your life is for some reason not quite in alignment with you. So it's like you need more, and more seems to involve getting to the other side of this mountain, going into new territory, going into unfamiliar territory. But yeah, so we do have a lot of cards already pulled prior, and because I knew that I was going to go to so many different decks, I didn't want to waste time on camera shuffling. That would just be really boring for you guys, so I have pre-pulled a lot of the cards, and we will possibly go into some clarifying if we need to with some tarot. But basically, we're going to start with, I think it's these four. So these four cards are kind of, they could extend on this message or they could be different, but we're still tuning into like spiritual and personal themes for February 2023. So the spiritual and personal themes or experience, you have the Keepers of the Earth, you are not alone, ancient ancestors stand beside you. Okay, that's, I see where that's going. Number 10, Unfinished Symphony. Number 5, Attachment in Reverse. Okay, yeah. And we have the Wolf, Heart Medicine. Let go of that which does not serve your highest good. I'm just making sure these are all right where they need to be because we're going to be struggling for room on this reading. Okay, so I'm kind of seeing a bit of a story in these cards. And for me right now, it seems like it's following on from this village message, because I was talking about this sense of isolation or not belonging or feeling alone, at least within this village, or literally being alone. And it feels like right right now at this time, your village or your tribe are currently your ancestors and your spirit guides. So although you don't have people or a group or a community of physical beings that are here and now, spirit wants to know that spirit is always with you, coming through in your spirit guides, your spirit animals, your ancestors, the archangels perhaps, as well as the ancestors of the earth or the keepers of the earth. So you do have a lot of support and love around you, but right now it's not necessarily visible because it is coming from those other realms. So you may feel a little bit alone, or like even if you're in a room full of people, you might just be feeling alone because you don't feel like you align with anybody, or your authentic self doesn't fit here. Spirit wants you to know that, your guides are still around you, and you do have a spirit team that are always supporting you, even if you're feeling alone. So you're not alone, and try to lean into their connection because they will be available for support, even if it's, in a meditation and then you suddenly feel their love around you, or that really nice energy coming through your body. You get goosebumps, or you get chills, or some sort of physical response to validate that that's what's really happening. But yeah, Spirit really wants to know that you're not alone. You do have a spiritual tribe around you, and they are supporting your journey at the moment. And then with Unfinished Symphony over here, this is giving me that message of like, this isn't where your journey ends. There's more to do, there's more to see, there's more to write in this story. And it feels like this involves leaving a comfort zone. So if the village is relating to a comfort zone as opposed to a physical place, like for some of you, I feel like you are being pulled to a new location. And then for others of you, I feel like this is metaphorical of some kind of comfort zone. And it's like beyond this comfort zone is where the real magic begins. Like even in this card with all the beautiful colors, you can still see that this piano is leading to more light over here. And it just feels like where you are here and now is not the end of your story. There's more to do. You're not meant to like end it here, or you're not meant to just stay here forever. You're meant to do more. You're meant to see more. Your journey's meant to continue. But there's some sort of change that you need to make, a comfort zone you need to escape, something you need to let go of, whether it's a community, people, places, jobs, any kind of attachment that's not in your highest good. It's like beyond that is where life really begins, or where magic really starts to happen. And then that's confirmed with attachment in reverse, because attachment in reverse is letting go of that attachment, or dropping that attachment to anything that's not in your highest good. And the wolf validates this for a third time by literally saying, let go of that which does not serve your highest good. So anything that's not in alignment with your heart space is taking from you rather than giving to you, or giving back to you, or nurturing you in any way. So it's time to really start to assess what you need to let go that's not supporting your highest good. Because, beyond that limit or that restriction is so much more for you. I'm just going to take a quick sip of tea. Okay, so just seeing if anything else is going to come through. I think I'm just noticing we have the wolves repeating here. So I do feel like the wolf is a strong spirit guide for you, whether you know this or not. It could either be coming to you in dreams, or its energy is just around you a lot right now. And it's guiding you forward. It may illuminate what needs to go, or it might just be walking you through this, and this might be one of your closest spirit guides at the moment is this wolf. It's walking beside you. It's really guiding you and supporting you through this journey. Maybe sending you courage and sending you heart medicine so that you can, I suppose, acknowledge the heart space and what it wants, and have the courage to follow that path. I do feel like I want to read the wolf from the guidebook now that it's come through twice, because I do feel like that is not a coincidence. So the elements of the wolf are earth and air, so we could have a lot of earth and air placements in this group. Excuse me. So we have the wolf brings medicine for the heart. He is a vital source of core strengthening power and brings the sensitivity to discern which issues of the heart are yours and which you hold for others. Ask him to help you release from your heart that which does not serve you and let him take these worries away. Native Americans worked with wolves as totem animals. They were their allies in venturing through the spirit realms, the gatekeepers, guiding and protecting them while their soul journeyed. If you call a wolf into your meditation, he will always go ahead and make sure the path you are walking is of a high frequency and that you have a safe passage through the realms you visit. He is a noble protector. So that actually came through to me, was the dream thing. So I feel like specifically in your dream state, the wolf is with you, guiding you, walking with you, and protecting you in those dream realms. And like I said, guiding you down that path, or guiding you down the right path, by giving you that courage. Here it's referred to as core strengthening power. The core is like the solar plexus, and the courage is in the solar plexus as well. So a lot of synchronicity is coming through with what we've just channeled in this message here. Alright, so we're going to move into the other areas of your life for the month of February now. So we're going to start with your love life. So we've got a card for those of you that are completely single. We've got a card for those of you that are in connections. And we've got a card for those of you that have someone on your mind and you're wondering what they are thinking / feeling. So for singles... Okay, that's very interesting actually, with the Three of Fire coming out there. Considering we are talking about exploring new horizons and getting out of a comfort zone, and for some people we are talking about relocation or traveling or some kind of expansion, it feels like this expansion is potentially what leads you to something exciting happening in your love life. So what I'm really noticing here is that, again, the Three of Fire is like a card of looking out at a horizon. Oh my God, I'm stumbling over my words. It's a card of looking out over a horizon, expansion, things looking really good, and, like it says here, like long-term plans or growth. So it feels like if you're single, it's not so much about meeting someone this month, but it's about the expansion that's happening is what's going to lead you to someone or something significant in your love life. So it's telling you here that things do look good. Have patience at this time, because your next plans or what you do next is what's going to lead you to this exciting thing or this abundance in your love life. So yeah, what we have going on in this story up here that we've just been talking about, it's like following that journey is also what's going to lead to an abundant love life as well, or an exciting opportunity in your love life. So we might just, for this part, we'll do a little bit of a clarification and just see if there's anything else to note for singles. Yeah, I feel like something exciting is waiting for you on the other side of this big change, or this big relocation, or this big expansion. So let's clarify for the month if there's any, flings or anything going on at all, or if it's just all about this expansion. gosh. I'm remembering why I don't use this deck often. It does not shuffle well. Not for me anyways. So Eight of Wands in reverse and Eight of Pentacles. This definitely feels like, blockages in love life, or just a temporary period of inaction while you invest in other things. So the Eight of Pentacles tells me you're more invested in your own growth, your personal growth, your career growth, your work growth, your, kicking goals, your projects. Your focus is less on love and more on other things, or that's where it should be, at least for the month of February. So there's not a lot of action going on, not a lot of communication with anybody. It's more like you're really handling your business and really focusing on your growth. So yeah, not seeing a lot in terms of flings or communication, just a lot of handling your business. All right, so now the card for those of you that are in connections. So, we have the Magician for you guys. So February is a month of creating magic. So this could be, a new endeavor that you and your partner are creating. You could be creating a baby, so you could be having like a very active month, or you may be having a very fertile month, like a month of creation, because the Magician is a very creative and magical energy. So your connection is going to feel very you're going to feel very spiritually connected, very aligned, very like super in sync with your partner. If you guys want to manifest anything by combining your forces, you can definitely do that, because when two energies or two people come together to manifest the same thing, and if both really believe in themselves and the power of that manifestation, it happens so much faster, because there's like double the energy that's focusing on it. So if there's anything that you guys want to manifest or create, this is definitely a good month for that. Otherwise, this is a sign that the connection itself is going to be very magical. And as I said, with that energy of creation and the number one of like new beginnings, you could create new life. So if you don't want to conceive, I would be careful, because there is energies supporting conception here if you're looking for that. So let's get a few clarifiers for everybody in this one. So for the Magician, those in connection, so this could be the end of some sort of difficult or challenging cycle for you guys. So you could be coming out, and that's interesting that we have a 1 following the 10, because that's like a cycle of pretending everything fine is now over, like things are now actually fine. So maybe you guys have had some even money stress, because this could be like mental anguish, mental stressful situations that have been keeping you guys feeling a little bit restricted or stuck, or stuck in a rut or something like that. So this could be the end of a difficult cycle and the beginning of a way better one. I'm also hearing that communication is going to improve if you have been struggling to communicate with each other, and that could have a lot to do with Mars and Mercury going direct as well, because I know that a lot of people would have had those challenges. So I also want to note that I just saw the Magician flash itself to me in this deck once again, so confirmation that it's a very magical, creative, fertile month for you guys. Yeah, so this is like a major rebirth. So I definitely am getting that feeling that you guys have just gone through a difficult cycle, and now you're emerging into this new life. And once again, that message of new life keeps coming in. So I don't know if anyone around you is going to be having a baby, or if you're going to be having a baby, but there is a few messages of new life coming in. But once again, that could be like conceiving a child as well. So just take it as it resonates. But major transformation, the ending of a difficult cycle, beginning of a brand new one. It's like, again, that message of new light on the horizon, or light on the horizon. So coming out of a darker time and coming into a time of more light, more blessings, more warmth. So yeah, really transforming your relationship. I do want to say, for some of you, you may have gone through a full separation and now you're rebirthing your connection. If like it got that tense between you and your partner and it got to like too much for you guys, I can see like a complete ending and then a rebirth. And then for others of you, I can see a complete ending and a complete new beginning somewhere else. So you're going to have to take this one as it resonates, but this could actually go both ways, because the Ten of Swords and Death could be a complete ending, and now you're stepping into your own new life, and you've now got the resources to manifest the life you truly deserve and wish for. So maybe you've been in a relationship that's been in a comfort zone and that's easy to kind of fall back to, but now this is you stepping into your power and finally stepping away from what's not serving you in terms of this relationship. So I'm now starting to see two very different stories for those of you in connection. So if it's salvageable, I'm seeing a brand new beginning for both of you and really coming together and coming into alignment and bringing brand new life and new energy into the connection. And for others of you, I'm seeing you reclaim your power and say, no, enough is enough. I'm done. I'm ending this cycle once and for all, and I'm going to achieve or travel to, the other side of this mountain. I deserve to see and reap in all of that light and those blessings and that warmth, and I'm going to go and get it now. So I'm seeing two very different stories. But obviously this would be coming down to your own decision making and your own story up until now. So trust your own gut or your own intuition on that one for sure. Okay, and so those of you that aren't necessarily with someone but have them on your mind and want to know how they feel, or maybe you're not in contact with them at the moment, or it's like a situationship or something like that, your card is the Five of Air. So this person is conflicted, to say the least. I don't know if this feels like there's more than one person involved here, because this feels like a mixture of opinions or a mixture of information that's all being crossed, because we can see that there's 5 unicorns, and all of their horns and stuff are all kind of like trying to get in the way, and it feels like maybe miscommunication or misinformation has led to an unwise choice. And now this person's kind of like, well, did they really have my best interests at heart? Like, what were their motives here when they told me this? And now they're trying to reflect on this situation and figure out what they want. So they might be trying to tune into their own intuition and their own self right now to figure out what they are thinking and feeling, because they feel like someone had their own motives here and it led to them making an unwise choice. So there's misinformation or gossip energy coming through here, and something they found out or something that was said didn't sit well with them, but now they're starting to have their doubts about this person's intentions. Maybe it was a lie, maybe it wasn't even true information, but now they're trying to get to the bottom of this and the way that they're thinking and feeling and figure out exactly what they're going to do about it. So we'll clarify. So we have the Three of Wands in reverse and we have the Eight of Swords reversed. So this is, and then the Ace of Pentacles reversed on the bottom. So they held back. They chose to stay yeah, they kept their distance and they remained it's like yeah, they definitely held back, or like they suddenly stopped reaching out or progressing things, and they didn't give this the opportunity that it deserved. It's like the option was there, or the opportunity was there, but they didn't take it because something got in the way, and it feels like it was someone's gossip or opinions, or someone got in their head that shouldn't have. Yeah, so someone got in this person's head. It made them detach or hold back or like pull back. And now they're starting to review this person's motives, and they feel like they've made the wrong decision now. So let's see, will they act on that and make a move towards group 1? Not in February, they won't. They are going to be thinking about it heavily. It's going to keep them up at night. They're going to be regretting their decision. Yeah, 7 of Pentacles, 8 of Wands reversed, but they're not going to act upon it. They're just going to wait. Basically, they're just going to stay where they are and just sit in that energy, and let it keep them awake at night, but they're still not going to make a move or reach out. They're going to just like wallow in self-pity, like, why did I do that? Yeah, so not in February, at least, is what I can see here. They're going to be waiting it out in February and just dealing with, it's like they're in that energy of, well, I made my bed, now I have to lie in it. So that's where they're at for the month of February. Not going to make a move, but we can't speak for beyond February. We're just doing February in this reading. So that's the love life taken care of. We're now going to move into career / study / money. So whatever you happen to be doing with your life in those kind of areas, or whatever you're working towards, we're going to look at what's happening in those areas for February 2023. So we have Balance in the reverse position, and on the bottom of the deck was 16, Caught in the Ruins, also in reverse. So in terms of, career or study or whatever you're doing, or even money-wise, in February there is an imbalance going on, and it feels like either you're having to work too much, or you're being like underpaid, or something's not working out in your best interest. It's like you're missing out on something somehow. And with Caught in the Ruins in reverse, I'm seeing this desire for freedom, or this desire to free yourself or escape whatever this is. So if this is like a job, it's like, you have to work crazy hours, you don't have enough time to do the things that you want to do, and you feel like you're not even being compensated enough for it, or you're not getting paid what you deserve, and you're considering freeing yourself or escaping or leaving this position. Yeah, something is not feeling fair to you, and it's causing this desire to escape the situation. So either if it's a career, it's like it's taking more than it's giving. If you're studying, it feels like it kind of feels like you don't feel like it's alignment with who you are anymore, or maybe you were doing this for someone else, or you were doing what was expected of you, but you're realizing that this isn't where your heart lies, and you're wanting to get out of this now and follow a different path. If you're here more so about money, it feels like maybe there's more going out than there is coming in February 2023. Imbalances are the theme. So let's get a couple of extra cards and see if there's anything else we can figure out here. What can we clarify here in terms of the career, study, and money cards for February 2023? Clarify these imbalances. The Four of Wands. So this could definitely be like if you have children, you feel like you don't have enough time to see your children, or can't spend enough time with your family. If you have a partner, it feels like you're not able to spend enough time at home with your partner. This could be even a desire to work from home. It's like you're getting a desire to leave something corporate and start something of your own, like a home business. And this could be like you leaving your position or wanting to leave your position to start something at home. You and your partner could be leaving something to start something at home. It could be like a joint effort, because we did have some of you wanting to create something or build something together. Again, this could be like you're feeling imbalanced because your heart doesn't lie here and you're being pulled for that relocation, because the Four of Wands once again has that energy of like leaving somewhere to move somewhere different. So you could be going from like city to country, or country to city, or vice, like somewhere a bit different. The Four of Wands is also about like setting up new roots or a new home, or focusing on the home. So if you're resonating with that message of conception or having a baby, that could be a lot of why there's a lot more money coming out than there is coming in, because you could be having to buy a lot of nappies / diapers, or a lot of baby stuff, a lot of formula, things like that. Like, babies are expensive, I get it. So a lot of money could be coming out and less coming in, because obviously, I don't know how it works worldwide, but in Australia we get maternity leave, but obviously that's going to be like the bare minimum that you would get. So like if you normally are someone that does overtime and gets a lot more income, obviously you're not getting paid for that overtime, you're getting paid for your normal baseline hours. So like that could be another reason of why there's more money coming out than there is coming in. And like I said, you and your partner could be spending more time at home because of that. But yeah, for whatever reason, you're feeling like there's an imbalance and you're craving a little bit of freedom in the month of February. And that still resonates for the baby thing too. So just saying. Anything else to clarify? There's the Magician again. So I get this strong feeling that like you're being pulled to create something of your own. This is a very, it's really giving me the energy that you guys are being pulled away from something corporate, or like being pulled away from a standard sort of 9 to 5 thing and getting into this energy of creation. So creating a home business, creating a child, creating a family, creating art, creating something from scratch, something that you can call your own. Oh, please don't do that to me. The Emperor, that is literally the card of like being your own boss, owning your own business, doing your own thing. And again, we've got the Magician with the Emperor. So this could be a partnership between you and your partner, or you and a business partner. Doesn't have to be your romantic partner. But I am kind of seeing like two energies combining forces to create something here. So once again, that could be a baby, it could be a project, it could be building a home, it could be building a home business, it could be, you know, anything like that. We'll get one more, I think. Yeah, High Priestess. You can see here that she's kind of like sitting in a really comfortable space with her laptop. So again, it's giving me that energy of building something of your own, and it could be like an online business. It could be something spiritual with the High Priestess and the Magician there, or it could be something that your intuition is kind of telling you to do, and this is the month where you really are called to act upon this intuitive pull. I do see that even if there's more money going out than there is coming in, I'm still seeing you in a very stable and secure position. I'm not seeing any cards of like being completely stressed about your money or feeling like you don't have enough. I just feel like if that money message resonates, it's just that there's like a bit more going out than there is coming in, but it's like it's no threat to you. It's not causing any instability. It's all under control, basically. All right, so where are we at? Okay, so this next card is basically any other predictions, warnings, blessings that I can see coming through in like a more like practical kind of way, if that makes any sense at all. So the card that I shuffled out for you guys for this part, and we might get a few charms as well, just for fun, but the card that I got for you guys is the Knight of Swords. I haven't spent a lot of time looking at it yet, so I might sit with it for a couple of minutes as I kind of leave it here to see what comes through. But immediately what came through when I saw it was be very careful when you're preparing food or when you're having to use anything sharp over the month of February, because I'm definitely seeing, obviously this is not something that I want to manifest for anybody, but these are just warnings. So be careful and be extra attentive and present when you are preparing food or using anything sharp. So basically, like I would say this month, don't do anything if you're not fully present in what you're doing. So if you're someone that listens to music while you prep food, or you watch movies or something while you prep food or something like that, this is like, remove all those distractions and be present with what you're doing, or you're going to be susceptible to, like a little cut. Whether it's serious or not, I don't know, but this is just telling you to be careful. I'm also interpreting that as like just being careful when you are like shaving any of your body parts. I'm just seeing like little nicks here and there, nothing too serious, but just, be extra focused and attentive and be present with what you're doing. So just make sure that your full focus is on what you're doing and you will be fine. Also just make sure that if this is to do with like work safety or anything like that, that you're using protective measures. I'm seeing kind of like armor on this Knight of Swords, so make sure you're wearing your protective wear at work or for anything that you might require protective wear for. That's another thing. I also see that a Gemini Sun Moon Rising is going to be significant in this month, so either an existing person or a new person. I don't know how, but they will be significant. I think that's all that I'm seeing on that card at the moment. If I happen to notice anything else, I will mention it, but I think that's it for now. So I'm just going to grab my little charm bowl and I'm just going to pick out a few things. So if you've seen me use the charms before, you'll know that there are some pretty random things in here. I don't get messages for every single charm, but the ones that I'm supposed to get messages for, I do. So I'll read those. But let's just see, again, any final predictions, warnings, blessings, messages for February 2023. This might be a little bit loud if you want to turn your volume down. So group 1, any other predictions, warnings, blessings, or messages? So I know you can't see me when I do that, but I do keep my eyes closed or I look away while I'm selecting, so I have no idea what does come out. Oh my gosh, the first thing that I'm noticing is all these music notes. So look, there's some little confirmations straight away of this unfinished symphony card. Like, the story doesn't end here. There's more to do, more to see, more to experience, more to life. Like, there's something more for you. And it's so unique. It's like the symphony of your life, you know, like there's more to do. Some of you might, you know, have a real strong connection to music, or music might be a really key part of your month. I also want to say, be careful what music you listen to over the next month, because it could heavily influence you. So if you're not listening to like positive, high vibe music, then maybe like it's going to really alter your mood or alter your frequency. So make sure that you're listening to like the right kinds of music in the next month, or in the month of February. The next thing I'm seeing is the angel feather, or the feather. And this is definitely making me think of this card up here and letting you know that your angels are very close to you, whispering to you. I have a feather that looks very, very similar to this tattooed behind my ear. And so it does make me think that like your angels are right on your shoulder, guiding you, whispering to you, talking to you constantly, maybe even leaving you feathers, leaving you little signs if you're receptive to them, to let you know that you are here. We also have this little bird in the cage. So this is where I feel like that message of feeling trapped or feeling stuck in a cage and just wanting to fly free is coming through. So there is something that you are feeling a little bit restricted by or confined by in the month of February, and it is making you just want to kind of spread your wings and fly free. Similar message coming through with the butterfly, but also some sort of evolution or some sort of transformation happening in this life, in the month of February. Oh my goodness. We also have the infinity symbol. So there could be something life-changing happening in the month of February. That's the first message that came through with that. And I'm also getting this message of like something about February. It's like it brings something infinite to you, or back to you even, like something that crosses over with you into every lifetime is coming through with that message there. So that definitely resonates with the message of like birthing a child or something, because that would be something that like maybe you and this child agree to find each other in every lifetime or something like that, because that's a pretty like powerful energy coming through with that one. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there, guys. That is your February reading. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. If you made it this far, wow, I appreciate you. We're almost 50 minutes into this reading. So if you're here with group 1, leave a little wolf, because don't forget that a comment does mean that you go into the draw to win a gift card to my online store. And I am drawing that gift card winner in the next few days. So it's your final chance to comment and enter. And I'll reply to the winning comment to notify, and I'll also do a little post on YouTube now that I can do posts. So yeah, don't forget that it's also the final chance to enter my February Raise Your Frequency workshop, which is a 7-day spiritual and personal growth program you can join from anywhere in the world. It's all online or via email, so check out the details in the description box if you'd like to know more about that. But that is it from me. So until next time, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'm sending you love, light, and everything bright. Bye. Hi Group 2, welcome to your reading where we are going to be getting into some February predictions. If you're here with Group 2, that means you have chosen the Pilgrim card. And we are going to have a look at the guidebook and read the message from the book together. This is a very unique deck. I don't get called to use it very often, but when I do, the messages are usually very powerful. And they're written in such an eloquent way in the book as well. Actually, let's leave it in the center while we read the message. Yes. Okay, so the Pilgrim, number 20. Okay, so the keywords under the Pilgrim are the Wanderer, the Traveller, and the Apprentice. For the Pilgrim, an outward journey is always an inward journey. This archetypal wanderer seeks wisdom, experience, and meaning in the farthest reaches of the globe and the deepest regions of the spirit. Others will wonder when the Pilgrim will settle down and claim a more conventional life, but the Pilgrim knows that the heart belongs in motion. Where there is motion, there is freedom, expansion, and growth. Responsibilities, social conventions, and logistics lull us to sleep, and soon the Pilgrim becomes veiled in the slumber of the day-to-day. Yet when this archetype awakens, it rallies. Oh my gosh. It rallies our sense of adventure and leads us out the door toward a new reality. With the Pilgrim at your side, you will never lack courage, nor do you need every amenity. Travel light, travel soon. Your spirit needs it. So this is quite an interesting archetype. It feels like your soul's definitely being called to journey in some kind of way, and it seems to be a non-conventional path that you're being called to travel. So this could be like a literal travel. Maybe you're being called to travel to a certain location, or you've been really keen to travel lately. You've had an urge to go visit a certain place or places around the world. There's just this sense of adventure in you. Or it could be, being called to travel a certain path that's different from the one that you're on, or something along those lines. So we're obviously going to get to clarify this message a little further as we go deeper into the reading, but that's what we can see so far within the Pilgrim card. So we'll leave her over there. Now we're going to get into some of your cards for this reading. So with all of the oracle cards, we're kind of building upon this message. This is the main overall theme or energy or archetype of your month. So that's the main, I suppose, or the predominant energy within your being. And this may further clarify that, or it may just bring up some other things of a spiritual or personal nature for you throughout the month of February. So we have Priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? We have Time to Go in the reverse position. We have the Temple Path in the reverse position also. And then your spirit animal card is the Golden Unicorn, Ascension, awaken to your soul's potential. Okay, so that looks all right up there. Okay. So Within the Priestess card, this is definitely that energy of you being called to step up and lead yourself on a different path. The Priestess card can be like a card of teaching and helping others or guiding others, influencing others. But I guess this is someone who like walks the walk as well as talking the talk. So this is like a spiritual or any kind of leader who doesn't just say all the right things. It's like they have this wisdom because they have walked that path. And this is almost saying, how are you being called to step up and lead yourself or become that leadership role in your life or for others? The Priestess card can be like a card of, you know, being a mystic or a spiritual teacher or a guide for others. So perhaps you have a deep purpose in this life to lead other people in some way or guide other people in some way. And like it says here, it's how are you being called to step up at the moment? So February is asking you, okay, how can you step up and lead yourself down this path? How can you take action now? How can you walk the walk? A lot of that kind of energy of really stepping into your role, stepping up into your full potential. And interestingly enough, that's the card over here, or the message on the card over here, awaken to your soul's potential. So there's a major ascension going on for you, and this may bleed into the more physical areas of your life, but it's mostly like a soul's ascension, a spiritual ascension. It feels like you guys have been on a spiritual journey for some time. But it almost looks like with these next two cards is that recently, it feels more like it's recently, even though we're channeling February, it feels more like this has already happened, but maybe for some of you this is going to happen in February, where you get a little bit pulled off path, or you get a little bit confused or doubtful or insecure about what's actually going on in your life, and feeling like, I don't know, something has ended, or you know, you gave something your all but it didn't work, so that's the end. It's like, no, sometimes the path isn't linear. It isn't you start here, you finish here. Sometimes we kind of go forward and then we loop backwards, and then we come back over here, and then we might drop down here, and it goes all different directions. So it's not that you're on the wrong path or on the wrong journey. It's more so like, yes, you've been putting in all this action and you've gotten yourself all this far, but now you need to turn around and go back and prioritize yourself, because now you've neglected yourself in the process. And the reason for this lull or this period of inactivity is so that you can reconnect to yourself. Like the Pilgrim card said in the beginning, the Pilgrim's outward journey is an inward journey. So for this outward progress to start to happen and to start to be able to see really positive results, you've got to go back to that inward journey first. Recommit to your spiritual growth and your personal growth. Recommit to your own path, and then come back to, okay, now how can I help others? So maybe you're already in this sort of priestess energy and you are trying to guide others, or you know you want to guide others. And in doing that and being the helper or the advice giver for everybody, you're forgetting to come back to self and focus on the self. Your messages seem to be kind of getting you to come back to you and what's really important in your life. The Temple Path in reverse can sometimes be a card where you are starting to place too much value on the wrong things. So maybe if money has been your focus, this is like saying it's now time to remember that, yes, money is a crucial aspect of surviving, but if your goals or your motives in a journey are all about the money, then often it may not come to fruition. Because if the goal is to help others, or if the goal is to serve others in some way or to help others in some way, then that gain or that material gain often comes naturally, because it's like a reward almost for being of service and for your heart being in alignment with the collective or the collective's highest good. And then, yeah, with the golden unicorn, awaken to your soul's potential. This is really, I think February for you guys is a card of really committing to your spiritual growth. And like I said, especially if you're someone who often has to help others, or you do help others in your line of work, this is now about, okay, you talk the talk, but now you need to come back to yourself and walk the walk. So you need to practice what you've been preaching, or practice what you do preach, and help yourself the way that you help others. Because it seems like you can be so focused on helping others that maybe you forget about yourself. This time to go card is giving me this energy of something that you felt had finished or ended. It wasn't necessarily the end. It's just that, yeah, that path wasn't so straightforward. So it had to kind of circle back, or it had to stop, or it had to reroute, or something along those lines. But it's like this energy of something kind of coming back around. So maybe I'll just pull a card on that and see what that's referring to. So this coming back around energy, what is that, please? So if you are someone who is like a mystic or a spiritual healer, or you're an influencer, or you have like a way of influencing or guiding others, and you've experienced like a lull or a loss or a period of inactivity where you feel like you are either losing followers, or losing credibility, or losing confidence, or losing something, this is like that coming back around. For others of you, it could be a person coming back around with this Queen of Wands energy. It doesn't have to be a female. It would be someone who's confident, attractive, quite spiritual, quite magnetic. Oh. Yeah, if you felt like you haven't been getting what you deserve out of something, it's like coming back around to you. If someone did you wrong, I think it's coming back around to them. There's like this, someone felt like they got away with something but didn't. I even can see that it's just like you've been juggling so much and been having to give to so many other things that you haven't been able to give to yourself. But all that time you've lost is now going to return to you for you to recommit to that growth. So that's kind of what I'm picking up there in regards to that. So I'm going to take a quick drink before I jump into the next section. Okay, so we're going to move into love life for this month. So we've got a card here for singles, a card here for those in connections, and we have a card for those of you who are wondering about a person that's on your mind. So someone that you're either not in contact with, someone that you're having a difficulty with, like a situationship type thing. It's not quite a connection, but you're not quite single, that type of energy. We're going to find out how that person is thinking or feeling about you. So to begin with, singles. Oh, Two of Water. That's the Two of Cups, singles. So a relationship is coming to you in February. This could be a relationship that's coming back to you. So if there's someone that you lost or were in conflict with, I say this because we have the word forgiveness. and the positive resolution of a conflict. So if you had a falling out with someone that meant a lot to you, or if, you know, you separated from someone, this could be like someone returning to you. And we did have the Six of Cups flick out before when I was clarifying what's coming back to you, which that could have been a little bit of symbolism for the singles of like a relationship coming back around. But regardless, whether you have someone you're hoping to come back in or whether you are looking for new love, it's on the cards in the month of February. So our relationship will grow closer. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be in a relationship in February, but it definitely means that you will be meeting someone or connecting with someone, and the relationship between you will move closer and progress throughout the month of February. So before we move on, we might just get a couple of clarifiers for that one and see if there's anything to add there. This is making me think of that message that I was talking about actually, where it was like thinking something was finished or it had ended, but it was just like an inactive period that was necessary. So if you were talking to someone and then like, you know, the energy shifted or they pulled back or you pulled back or something happened and you kind of felt like that was it, it could be that person that kind of comes back towards you, or for some reason you end up talking it out. So anything to add here to the Two of Water for the singles in February? So yeah, this is like a new opportunity. I don't know if that Ten of Swords was actually meant to come out, but it could just be clarifying that for some of you, this is someone that you were talking to and then it stopped, and this is like a new opportunity that brings it back to life. I just saw Death in reverse, so that could be another little hint towards that rebirth kind of energy. Four of Pentacles in reverse and Four of Wands. Yeah, so I do feel like for the majority of this group, there was someone that you were talking to and then there was like a shift or a delay or like no contact for a little while, because it really feels like one or both of you were trying to control the situation too much or feared letting go of control, because that Four of Pentacles is almost like someone was holding their cards too close to their chest, but then they're letting go of that need to control or need to keep those feelings hidden and moving into something more stable and more fertile. So I'm seeing a celebration for those of you that resonate with that message, and then for those of you that have no one around, what I'm seeing here is, okay, sorry, I'm getting another message for those of you that are resonating with that. I think it's important that when this opportunity arises, don't just pretend everything's fine and ignore what happened. Talk about it and have a conversation. Get everything out in the open so that it has potential and you're not having to like begin the connection keeping things hidden once again. Like, you really need to be transparent and open instead of trying to hide everything and keep it all bottled up. And then for those of you that have nobody and this is a new person, I think that you need to end the cycle of keeping your feelings too close to your chest and trying to control everything, and just really loosen up and go with the flow for this to have the best potential, or for this to reach its best potential. Because I think that you may be prone to self-sabotaging or prone to trying to play it safe and not reveal too much, or, you know, keep your cards really close to your chest, not say too much too soon, and play it really cool. But I think that you need to let go of that because it's a control tactic, and really just surrender to the experience and the sweetness of it. Just be really present, try not to overthink, and try to just really surrender and go with the flow is your message. There's a lot of potential for longevity, regardless of how that message resonates for you. There's real potential in this connection, like for a real long-lasting, stable and secure connection. All right, so for those of you in connections, we have the Star. So the Star is a card of healing. So some of you could be consciously engaging in like healing work together, like real spiritual based work. Maybe some of you in your couple are being led to do some sort of like what would you call it, like when families or like partners get together and help other partners heal, like that type of thing. That could be like a long-term vision that you guys are working towards. But it seems like there's a lot of healing, a lot of sweet, happy, lovely is the word coming through, lovely times. And I also feel like if you have been doing that healing work together, I feel like you're about to see some sort of reward for that. So it's like, I don't know, like some new profound experience or some sort of like wish come true type of energy. But there's this overall sense of really being on the right path, feeling really good about the future, feeling really hopeful about the future, and feeling overall really, really happy and fulfilled in your connection. So we'll just see if there's anything else to add. Okay, so some of you are resolving a conflict, and the healing is happening because you are overcoming this challenge. So whatever this conflict was, it was some sort of disagreement. There was a disagreement, and it could have been to do with someone's priorities. So it feels like maybe someone was feeling like they were too low on the priority scale, and something else that maybe shouldn't have been up quite so high was higher than them, or just feeling like someone felt undervalued. It created a conflict. There was a disagreement, but then I feel like healing's coming in, healing and harmony, because you guys are communicating through it, talking it out. And this could have been, for some of you, it could have got so bad and so heated that it was looking like the finish line for you guys. But like we said about that sort of like the path's not always linear. It's not always from point A to point B. Sometimes it goes up and down and around and backwards, and sometimes it gets tangled up, but then we manage to find a way through and overcome and heal through it. So I feel like, you know, you guys were up for the challenge and you've healed it correctly, or you're healing it correctly in February. So for some of you, divorce could have been on the cards if you're married to your person. For some of you, this came down to, again, someone's values and priorities. They weren't in alignment with the connection. In fact, they were working against the connection. And this feels like that was because someone, or maybe both of you, were out of alignment with the self. And that's what was creating these barriers and these restrictions that were keeping the connection stuck. But the Sun, so happy outcomes, positive resolutions, happy times, warm times, and then underneath the deck is the Ace of Swords. So like clearing things up, you know, getting to the bottom of things, speaking truthfully, and just overall clearing the air. So that's what I'm seeing for those of you in connections. And then for those of you that have someone on your mind that you would like to know how they are thinking or feeling, we have the Four of Earth. So the Four of Earth actually came out when clarifying the Two of Water. So some of you could be here about that exact person. And this would indicate to me that this person was the one that was too guarded, or they were trying to control things too much, or trying to be too like logical and practical about the situation. So they were approaching with caution. They were trying to be a little bit too careful and a little bit too logical, and maybe even a little bit too slow moving because of that. But it feels like perhaps they're going to be letting that go. So let's see. Clarify this Four of Earth in regards to how this person, or how the person on group two's mind, how the person on group two's mind is thinking or feeling about them. So we have the Seven of Cups, we have the Page of Pentacles, we have the Nine of Wands. I am feeling okay. So this is making me think that this person took some time to weigh up their options. So they were maybe trying to figure out, is this real? Is this an illusion? Maybe you're both not being super straightforward with each other, because communication has been coming out a little bit across all three of these little mini piles. And so maybe everything was a little bit up in the air because you guys weren't being fully transparent with each other. But I feel like this person now wants to kind of like bring it down to ground and ground the connection. I think they're still feeling a little bit like worried, or they're still feeling a little bit cautious because they don't know how you're going to respond to them now. Maybe they feel like maybe you've got your walls up, or maybe they have their walls up a little bit still, but they are trying to overcome this and kind of like ground the connection into reality. So instead of it being up in the air, they want to actually like be open and honest and be like, this is what I want, or this is how I feel, and yeah, make it more real, I guess. We have the Page of Wands. So there's definitely the Star again. They're definitely very I feel like they're very attracted to you, but I feel like there's more to it than that, and they're trying to figure out if you guys are on the same page, perhaps. Like, is this more than lust? Is it real? Are you going to accept my offer if I try to give you something more serious? Am I going to get what I am hoping for here? Am I going to get the kind of the response that I'm hoping to get? Are you going to accept my cup? Are we going to, you know, become one, or am I going to be left alone at the end of this, carrying the burden of maybe I should have gone for this sooner? Maybe I should have invited this person for that drink sooner. Maybe then it would have all worked out and we would have got the happy ending that I knew was on the cards. Except now you're cold and shut down, and here I sit with this offer that I want to give you that is just not quite working out now. So I definitely think that this person is thinking of every single scenario and every single outcome, probably getting a little bit in their own head, and they are still in this cautious energy, but there is something that they want to say to you. they do want to express something to you in the month of February, and I definitely think that they will, and they're going to try to clear the air. I think they're going to put their pride aside, or even like a fear of rejection aside, and I think that they're going to try to ground something real with you in the month of February. So that's what I'm getting in terms of the person on your mind, group 2. Whew, all right, so the next part that we're going to move into is the career, study, money, whatever you might be doing with yourself in terms of your life and your income and, you know, making a living and things like that. So the cards that we have for you are the 6 of Roses and the Scribe. Okay. So this feels like you're at a little bit of a standstill, and it feels like you're caught between two things, or caught between something at the moment. And it feels like you are being guided on this different path, whether it's like a path of learning, studying, or maybe it's even becoming the teacher of something and teaching others or guiding others in some kind of way. But it feels like you're either being pulled to go back to school or to study something, to learn something. I think we had the card, the Pilgrim was the card of the apprentice when we read the book at the beginning. They mentioned like the apprentice, so this could be about like learning something new, or it could be a card of like the student becoming the teacher. So it's like, you know, you've been the student and now it's time to teach others. And maybe you have a job that conflicts with this path, or maybe you've been trying to balance both for a little while, and you've been trying to do you know, your job and show up for work, and you've been trying to guide others in the meantime and do what you want to do, or do what your heart wants to do in your spare time. But maybe, you know, this is not working anymore. There's no balance anymore. Maybe it's time to choose one or the other. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting here with these two cards. It really feels like you're coming into a point of, oh, that makes so much sense. So up here we had that message of like, there was like something about being too focused on the material world, or the material world was too much of a factor in your decision making. And maybe this is like, you know, a job that brings you a steady income while you start to build something on the side. And maybe that drive, that material drive of knowing that you're going to have money every week was like a comfort zone or a safety net for you. And maybe you're kind of being pulled now to be like, okay, now maybe it's time to fully invest in the one path and commit to that. Maybe you're now ready to, you know, leave that other role and completely invest in this other role. And maybe that's going to benefit other areas of your life as well. But it seems like you're kind of getting called to make a choice now and fully focus on that one thing instead of trying to split your time and your energy between both. Because it feels like one thing, like it's like the only reason that you're engaging with that one thing is because it provides material gain for you, whereas the other thing is where your heart's truly at, and it can help other people. It, you know, you'll be of service, or maybe it's even going to learn something new and beginning to break away from that role that covers your material needs but doesn't fulfill your soul. But I keep getting more of like a teacher energy from the Scribe, and it's the same as the Priestess and like the Pilgrim. Like student becomes the teacher type energy for February for you. It's almost like you're ascending, you're leveling up, reaching your soul's potential, accessing new potentials even. So we might get a few clarifying cards for this section too. Maybe I should have changed the decks because this one just doesn't really cooperate. Like the right cards are coming out, but shuffling wise, oh, I don't love it. All right. So how many cards have we got there? Okay. I don't really feel comfortable taking all three. So how can we clarify the career/study/money section here for group 2 in Feb 2023? Okay, so we have the Four of Pentacles coming out once again. In the reverse. So this is definitely in the reverse. This would be, I guess, letting go of something, getting out of a comfort zone. It feels like in the upright you're clinging to something because it does bring you that material safety, and in the reverse position it's like letting go of that safety net, or taking more of a risk or something like that. Now, obviously, when it comes to leaving a job behind to follow a passion project or to follow a pursuit that means a lot to you, always take these messages with a grain of salt and be reasonable about your decision making, because at the end of the day, you do need to support yourself and you do need to survive. And these readings are general, so you have to really 100% know that it is your message. But you also have to know within yourself that you can support yourself if you were to leave a job behind, if that's what you end up doing. These are your decisions to make, but I can see here that it's like, instead of clinging to this thing, it might be time to let it go, or maybe reduce your hours so that you've got more hours elsewhere, or yeah, something along those lines. We have the Knight of Wands in the reverse position. So exactly what I just said. Don't make any impulsive, sudden decisions. Think everything through. Look before you leap. You don't want to leap into a very stressful or unsupportive situation. You want to make sure that you can support yourself. But it definitely feels like whatever you're doing at the moment, your heart's not in it. It's like you feel like you're being pulled in a different direction. Because whatever you're doing right now seems to make you feel trapped, and it conflicts you and what means the most to you. It conflicts your soul, your higher self, what your heart really wants, your purpose in this life. And it seems that you are quite aware that this doesn't align with you anymore, but this is about like making a tangible plan, strategy to start to realign with that life that you know is for you. Or that purpose that you know belongs to you. So we have the World there. So yeah, to fulfill your purpose. It's like your purpose is half filled, or it's half realized, and now it's about bringing it down to earth. There's those same cards that keep coming out again. Interesting. So it's almost like you're at a bit of a crossroads at the moment and needing to figure out how you can make your life suit you and your purpose more at the moment. It feels like you're destined to teach or pass something on to others, guide, encourage. Maybe you're even a healer and there's just like something to learn, a new skill to acquire, a new course to study. But yeah, I definitely feel like you guys are here to lead, guide, teach, share your light, spread your light with the world. and be of service to others in some way. And I feel like you're going to notice that pull so much more in the month of February, and some of you may finally decide to like leave your position at work and fully invest in this path, or destiny might make that happen for you. So if that is the case and you do lose your job for whatever reason, this is like a rerouting of destiny putting you back on the right path. So try not to fear that process. Go within, align yourself, and you will attract a lot of abundance, and you will be very supported. But yeah, this could be of your own doing though, or it's an awareness that that is what you want to do. Alright, so we're going to go into this card now, which is any other predictions, warnings, blessings, sort of more tangible, real life things, hopefully, but depending on the card, we'll just see what comes through. And then we also might get a few little charms out as well. So your card is the Eight of Swords, which I think we actually just saw a couple of times in our clarifying cards. So some of the things coming through to me with this is, so the first thing I'm seeing, which is a little bit different, is someone overcoming a fear of water. So I don't know if someone had a traumatic experience at some point, either in a past life or in the current life that they're living, but I'm seeing someone overcoming a fear of water or a fear of swimming. I'm seeing others take up swimming as like a physical exercise or something for the mind, the body and the soul. I'm seeing something that you don't see coming, or something very unexpected, or even like a surprise, like something that you never ever saw coming happening. I also want to advise everybody to like I don't know, I think like check your spare tires and stuff. I'm kind of seeing her stranded in the middle of nowhere and feeling a little bit stuck. So I just kind of thought like, you know, if you're going anywhere, check your car, check your tires, check your spare tire. Just make sure everything's intact. Make sure you have a way to contact someone if you needed to. There's not much else coming through with that card, to be quite honest. So we'll go into the charms and we'll see what the charms have to say. So same thing, any warnings, confirmation, synchronicities, blessings, etc., etc. This may get a little bit loud, so if you want to turn your volume down, feel free to do so. I'm just going to close my eyes and pick some at random. So any other predictions, warnings or blessings for group 2 in the month of February 2023. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so we have a fork coming out, and the fork is making me think of a fork in the road. So I do feel like you are coming to a point where it's like it's time to choose one way or the other. It's almost, and that's kind of what it looks like here. It's like she's reached the end of the road and now she needs to choose. Is it here or here? Which direction are you going to take? It's like you can't go straight ahead on this path anymore, where you've merged your two journeys together. It's now time to focus on one and pick a direction. Where to next? We have the music notes here. So the the message that came through for group 1 with the music note was just paying attention to what music you're listening to. Words are spells, frequencies and tones and things like that is a universal language. So just make sure you're listening to like positive, uplifting, high vibe music. Is really going to be beneficial with your moods and your energy, and it's going to create just an energy of positivity around you. We have the turtle here and the first thing that I'm thinking with the turtle is he's out of his shell, so I feel like this is you emerging or like coming out of your shell in February. So if you've been a little bit introverted, if you've kind of been in hermit mode for January or even longer, I feel like you're kind of coming back out of your shell, being a little bit more social, not being so anxious and withdrawn. That's the first thing I think of. And then the next thing I think of is like traveling. No, wait, was that this group or was that the last group? No, it was the last group actually. So never mind, scratch that. But I'm also thinking of, when the turtles can travel far and wide with nothing but, the shell on their back. That's all they need to survive. So they travel quite lightly, really. They can be quite independent travelers, I think. They probably do travel in groups as well, but I think they can be quite independent travelers too. And it's just making me think of like, no matter where they are, they've always got home with them because they've got that shell on their back. So it's like, you can feel safe no matter where you are because you're at home in your body in the month of February. Or maybe that's what you can feel by doing some of that spiritual work and reconnecting to yourself. Is like, it doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing, you can always feel safe and secure within your own being or your own vessel. We do have another kind of like ocean related charm with the anchor and the wheel. So I think that grounding will be very important, and a good place to ground yourself will be by the ocean. So in the sand, in the shores, getting your feet in the water, also going for a swim if you can to cleanse. The ocean's very good at cleansing. And I also feel like as soon as you anchor yourself into your physical body, so that message is kind of coming through once again, that is the key or the tipping point to get the wheels in motion for everything else. So it feels like, again, like I said before, it's like you've kind of lost touch with your own personal spiritual journey and you've been helping other people, or your focus has been elsewhere, you've been pulled away from that. But as soon as you anchor yourself into your own body and your own spiritual routines and your commitment to self, the wheel starts to turn, and all this positivity and abundance and good fortune starts to come to you and happen for you. We do have the owl here, so I feel like connecting to your higher self, your higher wisdom, seeing the bigger picture, viewing things from a higher perspective is going to be something that you can achieve in the month of February. I think that you're going to be able to really kind of, just like see where you want to be and see the path ahead of you and how to get there. It really just feels like you're really tuned into your higher self and it's guiding you through any and all situations. All right, we have the elephant here now, and I'm just thinking of getting grounded once again, because I think the elephant's message in my spirit animal book does speak of getting grounded with the elephant. So the first thing I'm thinking is that, get grounded once again, as above, so below. If you're not grounded, you're also a little bit fuzzy in the spiritual realms and you can start to take on a little bit too much, or you can get static. So it's really about being present in your human experience to benefit your spiritual experience as well. I think that's all I'm getting with the elephant. And then we have the heart locket here. So I do kind of get that message that whether you're in a connection or you're not in a connection, I do feel like your heart is going to be like on lock by the end of February. So it doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, you're going to be committed in a relationship, but it's like, you know what you want. Your heart belongs to someone in the month of February at some point. So I really do feel like there's this feeling of feeling secure with the person you're with, for those that kind of have a person, or feeling secure about the person that you meet when you meet the person. Or this could just be feeling really secure in your own heart space and prioritizing the heart space. But also I noticed that we have a little lock in this key, what's it called? A keyhole in this little lock. And we didn't get a key charm, and there are plenty of key charms. So it's almost like maybe some of you are really going to be trying to find that key to unlock that potential. Or maybe you find that key maybe for some of you, you've had a bit of a void or a little bit of a hole in your heart space type of thing. And then, you know, this connection comes and makes you feel whole again. It makes you believe in love again and renews your positive outlook on love. But I think that I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to call it. That's all I'm getting for you guys, group 2. I hope that you have enjoyed this reading today. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to comment on the video. There's a few more days left before I draw the January gift card winner. So it's your final chance to comment and enter. I'll reply to the winning comment to notify you, and also I'll post it on YouTube. We've got a few more days also to enter into the February Raise Your Frequency workshop, which is a 7-day spiritual and personal growth program. You can join from anywhere in the world. So check out the details in the description box if you'd like to check out more. It probably would actually, I'm not trying to plug it or anything, but for you guys, your whole reading was about reconnecting to your spiritual routines and prioritizing yourself. So it would actually probably benefit you guys, but obviously no pressure. If you're in the position where that's something you do feel drawn to do, then feel free. But yeah, like I said, no pressure. I just thought I would mention it because of how well it would go for you guys in the month of Feb. It goes from the 4th to the 11th of Feb. But yes, I don't think I have to say anything else. So other than that, don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you feel like doing so to help the channel grow. But until next time, guys, stay safe. That's it from me. Sending you love, light, and everything bright. Bye. Hello, Group 3, and welcome to your reading for your February predictions. So we're going to be getting into a lot of detailed information for your February. And we are going to start with this card right here on top, which is the card that you selected for this group. So here's a closer look. And this card we are going to read from the guidebook. Oh, there it is right there, the cave. So the keywords under the cave, we have the dark, the portal, and the interior. So it says, those who are fortunate enough to find and enter the cave are forever changed. It is a place of potent power, acting both as portal to another realm and a base for sacred ritual and initiation. The cave is a place to return for meaningful retreat, where one can quote unquote see the true self in the darkness. In esoteric teachings, the cave, I've got a lot of messages coming through already, especially because I haven't read this message yet. I'm reading it with you, so how it's all linking into your reading and stuff is all just like flooding into me right now. And so I need to really try to tune that out and just focus on the message in front of me. Okay, in esoteric teachings, the cave is known to reside in the center of the heart. Within its walls, the whispers of compassion and self-understanding can be heard. Yet, because of its mystery and power, many of us fear the cave and never try to find it. We busy ourselves in the bright lights of the city, while the cavernous and dimly lit chamber calls out to us in the night. Where is your cave? You already know. Return to it and tend the fire. Okay, very interesting. I'm so sorry. I feel like I really butchered it, so I apologize. But as soon as like all of this was coming in, I was starting to see how it was resonating to your reading, and all these messages were coming through, and it was very hard to tune out. And I almost feel like it's metaphorical of the image on this card, to be honest, because if you look here, there's like this darkness, but then there's all this static around here that's like around this person's being trying to get in. And that's what that message is all about, is like, I guess, pulling back from all of that energy and going into your cave. So yeah, kind of interesting how that was happening. But that's the guidebook message, and that is your kind of overall or main archetype or theme of this month. So it feels like you're needing to pull back and go within. It feels like you need to kind of spend a lot of time on your own and retreat to your cave, sit in it, get to know it, familiarize yourself with it. And I feel like this is really going to help you become your own light in the dark, and also kind of grant you access to higher wisdom, higher understandings, etc. So we're going to pop her over here, and we're going to begin getting into your reading. So we're going to start with, these cards here. So these are like the spiritual and personal themes, experiences, energies of the month of February. And it's kind of going to like extend on this a little bit. But yeah, you'll see. So we have the card Leap. You go first. The universe will catch you. We have Flexible in reverse. We have Man Holding a Heart in reverse. And we have the Otter, Initiations. Be open through this transitional time. Initiations was a word that came through in the message of our guidebook with the cave here. So February could definitely be leading to or heavily revolve around an initiation for you. So it could be a very transitional month between, because it's almost, I guess, like to begin or to initiate. It usually means that you've left something else or you've ended something else, because it's like an ending and then a new beginning, you know, like a finale and then an initiation type thing. So, all right. So the first thing that I'm noticing here is that everything to me is pulling away from this character here. So I don't feel this is your energy. I feel this is someone else's energy that you are being guided away from in the month of February, possibly even longer than the month of February, but perhaps you just weren't ready, or you haven't seen the signs, or you haven't felt sure. But it feels like in February, the universe is saying, don't walk away, leap. So the universe is encouraging you to take that leap away from, it seems for me, this feels like it's a person. But if it's not a person, fill that with whatever it is that you're being pulled away from in your story, because this isn't just any card, it is literally man holding a heart, and it's in reverse. So this feels like someone who you have a relationship with, either like in the family or it's like a partner. For the heart to be there, this feels more like there has to be an emotional tie, whether that's platonic, romantic, or like a family emotion type tie. But this would indicate it's someone who is a very masculine energy, so not someone who has embraced like their feminine energy as much, but someone like very masculine. So they're like an action-oriented person. They like to keep busy. Their energy kind of flows out of them, but they are not as much of like a receiving energy. But this also feels like someone who doesn't emotionally invest or open up or like have compassion or a warm heart. This is like someone who's like emotionally disconnected, not able to give love, and then with flexible in reverse, also not able to change or not willing to change either. And it feels like you've overstayed your welcome here, and some, and this is the month where the universe is asking you to be open to changing this, to be flexible and to be open to what the universe has to offer you if you break away from this. As I said, everything's like pulling away, like she's leaping away. This flexible card, she's bending away. To me, this otter looks like they're flowing that way, like upstream, like away from this person, and it feels like that's what's happening for you. You're being pulled away from this certain person who's not going to change. They're not willing to change, and they're not willing to soften up or show emotion or anything like that. They're very rigid in their ways, and not able or not willing to change. It really feels like a person to me. It doesn't feel like a situation. I do feel guided to read the otter from the guidebook, so I'm going to do that now. I think it's at the end, this one. Yep. So here it says, the otter is deeply connected to the water and is thought of as a symbol of life. Water is a feminine, life-giving force, just as the otter is a symbol of creativity. Together they represent fluidity and transition. The otter speaks to your inner child as she loves to play. If you feel stressed or down, ask the otter to bring her energy to you. Otters are high vibrational and curious beings. They are also fearless and can be called on for extra courage when you most need it. The otter is associated with initiations and transitions and marks big changes in life, new birth, new cycles of life, or saying goodbye to a loved one. Summon the otter and let her guide you through it. Yeah, so this is about letting go of someone who, yes, you may love them, but they're never going to change, and it's time to choose yourself. So the otter can help guide you through this period of change. But this is like confirmation that you can't change this person, you can't change the situation. It is what it is, and the universe is asking you to free yourself now. Embrace the isolation that comes from leaving this person and go into your cave and get to know yourself on new levels. This feels like this is a time for you to enter your darkness instead of fearing what leaving this person may do to you. So maybe you have abandonment wounds or abandonment fears, fears of being alone. Maybe you have codependent behaviors, and in the past perhaps you've been someone who has felt a lot more comfortable when you've had a partner. Trust me, I'm not being judgmental or anything. I'm just kind of saying what's coming through, because Spirit's really asking you to embrace the winter this time. Like, don't feel like you have to leap out of one thing and go into another. Just be open to where this move takes you, and be open to spending time alone, to getting to know yourself, and just how strong and powerful you are on your own. That's what I'm seeing through these cards here. So we're going to move into the love life area for February 2023. And what I've done here is I've pulled one card for singles, one card for those of you that are in connections, and one card for those of you who have a person on your mind that you're kind of in between situations with, or like you're not talking at the moment but you still feel connected to them, or whatever the case. One card for how the person on your mind is thinking / feeling about you. So to start with, we'll go to the singles, and your card is the Four of Air. It says time to rest or take a vacation, allow more time before making a decision, and meditation may provide answers. So for the singles, this is really a month of alone time. So really reiterating that message of the cave. For a lot of you, it does feel like a romantic partner that you're having to sort of move away from. But for some of you, this could be like a friend who's not in your highest good, or a family member who's not in your highest good. And this is really a time where you're just really spending a lot of time alone, meditating, recuperating, reflecting, and taking a lot of downtime. You may even get away and get some time to yourself by going on like a mini vacation or a road trip, or even just staying in like a hotel or staying with a friend or something, just sort of getting away and allowing yourself time and space to recover from what you're leaving behind or what you're trying to move away from in the month of Feb. I'll also pull a couple of cards from here and just sort of clarify that message. So the Four of Air, is there anything to add or clarify? Oh, sorry about that. So the World in reverse is the first clarifier. The Tower in reverse, yeah. Oh, and the Knight of Swords in reverse. So this is definitely you taking the time to close the cycle out properly and to really, find a sense of wholeness sort of on your own, or seek proper closure. So you're taking time to seek proper closure to ensure that you close out the cycle properly. It's going to be a time of sort of like rebuilding your own personal strength, your own mental strength, a time of sort of mental recovery and reflection. So not a lot of action in your love life, because it's more so about getting clarity in your own mind and in your own being. And yeah, like I said, taking time to really find closure, to close the cycle out properly, not jumping into anything while things are still really up in the air, or going from one thing into another thing, or rushing past the rebuild process. Like, this is you really taking the time to recuperate and rebuild your own mental strength and gain clarity over the February situation before jumping into anything that's going to distract you from that process. So for those of you that are in a connection, okay, it makes sense. So we've got the Four of Water for you. It says missing an opportunity, discontentment or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities. So for you guys in connections, this feels like your connection is not working, and it feels like this is your partner, especially with the Four of Water coming out here, because there is a discontentment or a dissatisfaction in your love life. You're not happy, you're not content, you're not pleased with how this is going, and you feel stuck. And honestly, this missing an opportunity is like an opportunity to free yourself and find something so much better, because if you open your eyes to the possibilities are finding something so much more fulfilling, so much more loving, just something so much better. Like the Four of Cups is nothing compared to the 10 of Cups. And by holding on to the Four of Cups and being closed off to all other cups, you can't reach that 10 of Cups, and you never will. So this is like saying, you know, your opportunity lies elsewhere, and there's so much more out there for you if you can find the courage to leave this behind. It's not fulfilling, it's not satisfying, you're not happy here. Why are you staying in something that doesn't make you happy, basically? I could even see this as like, you know, holding on to someone, and that's kind of shutting out any other potentials. So is there anything to clarify the Four of Water, please? Oh. Okay, so we've got the Five of Wands, the Empress in reverse, and the Two of Wands. So the Five of Wands is like competing energies. These energies are not in harmony. They're working against each other. And it's very difficult to overcome this. The Empress in reverse is like you're having to sacrifice too much of yourself just to keep the peace. And this is like saying it's time to really pull your energy back and put it in towards yourself again, and open yourself up to greater potentials, more fulfilling potentials, loving yourself enough to know that there's better out there for you, whether that's in the form of like a soul family, or like a different or more fulfilling partner, if this is relating to like a partner. Of course, we're in the relationship section. My bad. But yeah, I think that this is you really pulling your energy back and deciding to put all that energy that you're putting into the connection. It's like you're going to be putting it back into yourself, and, you know, opening up new horizons, exploring new horizons, whether that's like traveling or, like I said before, getting away, or even just opening up new potentials for yourself in other areas of life as well. It's like this has become a blockage, and it's difficult to expand from here because it's kind of like holding everything up at the moment. But definitely like a lot of self-sacrifice, definitely a lot of overgiving to this person, and it's just not reciprocated. Your energies aren't aligned. It's like more of a competing thing, like you versus me versus them type thing, instead of being on the same team. Eight of Cups in reverse on the bottom. So for some of you, as you try to walk away, I feel like this person either already has a pattern of, or they will begin this pattern of offering more, saying they'll give more and making a lot of promises, but it feels like they're not backing it up. Yeah, Two of Pentacles in reverse. It's not, there's no follow through, because it, like, the imbalance remains. This is not, they're not equal pentacles. One pentacle is a lot higher than the other. So it's like a false promises energy. As soon as you sort of threaten to leave or walk away, false promises to try to keep you around, to make you happy. But then it's, yeah, it doesn't last long. It ends very quickly. So, yeah, be careful of that. I feel like that's like a little bit of a warning there on its own. Like, just be careful of false promises or empty promises. You know, you are what you do, not what you'll say not what you say you'll do. So be careful that you're not buying into this person's words and that you're judging them based on their actions. Okay, for those of you that are wanting to know about a person and the way they feel or think about you, we have the Page of Fire. Okay, so this person has a bit of an ego. The word confident is more coming through to me as ego, and mischievous is coming through like they are charming, but they are sneaky. But because they are charming, they kind of get away from it, or get away with it, sorry, is what I meant to say. So this person, because it's a page, this person's very immature, impulsive, and they follow where their passion leads them. So they definitely feel lustful around you and feel very attracted to you, but they don't give me a very stable energy. So it feels like, yep, they are attracted to you. I think they're very open to having some fun with you and exploring that excitement, but I don't see anything sustainable to come out of it, because it feels like their passion's leading you towards them right now, but then tomorrow it might be leading them elsewhere. So let's get to some clarifiers and just see if there's anything else to add, or just to confirm that my intuition's right about this person. Okay, so we've got the Six of Cups in reverse. So this could be someone that you have a bit of a history with, and it's almost as if the two of you can't seem to let each other go, and it's like you can't commit, or they can't commit, but also can't let each other go. So clarify the world for me, please. Specifically, clarify the world. Okay, so this is someone who... This is someone who you have love for. This is someone who you have connected with in the past, and this is someone who you seem to feel like you are meant to be with. It feels like you think this person's your end game, and that's why you struggle to let go of them. Why does this person struggle to let go of group 3 then? Okay, so you give them this false sense of security. You do something for their self-esteem or something for their ego. What is that about? Yeah, you boost their self-esteem. You give them an ego boost. Your energy or who you are or how you are gives them an ego boost and boosts their self-esteem when they need it. And it's like they have this pattern of coming in when they need to feel good about themselves, and then waltzing on out when they've got that fix. Is there any more? It's interesting. They can acknowledge that you guys are compatible and that you make a good team. It's like you work well together, you gel well together. But they can't get past this page energy. So I think they have like commitment issues. And you give them a self-esteem boost where they get a false sense of security, like they feel like it's almost like they're doing better than they really are or something. I know it sounds a little bit like, but that's what it is. Like, you're a real self-esteem boost. There may even be a part of them that wishes they could step up for some of you. But yeah, for most of you, they definitely can't give you what you deserve. So what's the advice here for group 3? Because the page of fire makes me think that they may reach out to you. So what's group 3's advice if that is to happen? Seven of Cups, so smoke and mirrors. So see through the illusion, run in the other direction before you end up repeating a cycle or stuck in that guilt and regret again. Yeah, alone and carrying that same old burden and knowing, yep, well, we've been here before, haven't we? I don't mean to laugh, but look, on the bottom of the deck is 5 of Pentacles, being left out in the cold. So yeah, I would avoid, I would steer clear. Yeah, especially because I think that whatever you are having to distance yourself from or move away from in the month of February is going to have you in like a little bit of a shadow energy. And you know, when we're in, basically we attract what we're in alignment with. And so if you're in your shadow energy, you're probably going to attract somebody else who is in their shadow energy, because it's like a mirror of what we are experiencing. So I mean, that says it all, and that's probably what triggers this person to maybe come in. But yeah, I'm going to leave that part there, and we are going to move into career, study, or any income related things that you might be doing in the month of February. So we have, interesting, so you got this one of the same cards as the previous group, 6 of Roses, and number 7, Fated Meeting. Okay, so this is really giving me that strong message of like, by holding on to or staying around in what is not serving you, you're blocking your blessings and blocking what is in alignment with your highest good. You're basically preventing destiny or preventing fate from being able to work its magic. You've got to meet it halfway, and it feels like you're stuck in a situation that's not serving you, or stuck in a conflict with someone that's not serving you. And until you can sort of clear that blockage and move away from that, fate can't sort of activate this destined moment that's in your future. So fated meeting can be like meeting the one, or it could be meeting a person that you're destined to work with or create a business with, or like carry out a purpose with, like light work or mission work or healing or anything really. But there's definitely somebody or something that you're fated to align with, and right now you're blocking that from happening. So this is about stepping into your power, getting comfortable with the unfamiliar, or at least being brave enough to face the unfamiliar and leaping away from what's blocking your blessings, because there is a lot in store for you. Destiny is just waiting for you to make that space to literally drop this in your lap. Like this fated meeting card is like, you know, it's fate. Like you couldn't have planned this for yourself. It's like it just falls into place for you all through this fated meeting or this fated experience. So yeah, I think this is really about sort of deciding to walk that new path and unlock new potentials in your life. We will get some clarifiers once again. I'll just have a quick drink actually, sorry. Okay, so any more clarifiers for the Six of Roses and the fated meeting? So first clarify the Six of Roses, this impasse. See? Impasse. Even if I'm saying it wrong. Not being able to like cross that bridge, not being able to cross that horizon, seeing that there's more out there for you, but not knowing how to get there, or being stuck from being able to get there. So this is that blockage that's preventing you from that expansion or those new potentials, new possibilities. It's all blocked. Okay, so this is someone, if this is not a person, I would be very, very surprised, because again, this is someone who seems to be quite egotist or quite in their ego, someone with a short temper, someone who's very like my way or the highway, a very fiery, temperamental person who thinks very highly of themselves and who is very rigid and refuses to change or refuses to see that they could ever be wrong, or yeah. Just seeing if anything else flipped over. No, so this could be, once again, someone that you're in a relationship with, or this is someone that you have like a soul or energetic like bond to. So again, those strong bonds are like family, really, really close friends, or like romantic partners. And once again, it feels like this is a little bit of this energy where it's like letting go of that can unlock your true person, if this happens to be a romantic partner, or if it's a friend, it's like leaving this person behind leads you to your true best friend, or like a real soul friendship. Or a business part, like whatever the case, whatever you're leaving behind will be replaced with something so much better. Clarifying fated meeting. So new beginning energy with that fated meeting. Very clear, honest, direct communication, like no games, you're not kept guessing or left wondering or having to come up with your own answers. Like it's all laid out on the table. A new outlook on life for you personally is what that will kind of lead to. Two of Wands. Yeah, so this is like turning your back on this deceptive, dishonest, sneaky or snaky character who only cares about themselves, has their own agenda at heart, and doesn't really worry about anybody else. and then like that change in luck, change in fortune, and income of good, an incoming boost or incoming stream of good luck. So yeah, leaving this person behind is a very pivotal moment in your journey, and it's kind of like the trigger point that unlocks all of that potential. And I feel like it's going to be like almost immediate, like you're going to start noticing the blessings very, very quickly. It's like, you know, when one door closes, another one opens. Like it's very, very quick moving. The progress starts to happen very quickly. But like I said, February itself is more so about like resting, taking time out, getting a lot of time to yourself, getting comfortable with being by yourself if you've been, if you've had a partner for a while, etc., etc. So that's that part. We're going to go into this card now, which is any sort of final predictions, warnings, or blessings. And you guys have the Four of Cups coming out once again. So that's quite funny actually. But in terms of predictions, I think that February, first of all, I feel like there's a moment of clarity, and for some reason I feel like it's around the full moon. So check when the full moon is in February, and that'll probably give you a rough date of, you know, to when to be like very attentive to your thoughts and visions and things like that, because there's like a moment of clarity coming. It could be either clarity over everything you've got going on, or it's like a vision into your future where you see the potential and it gets you excited, or it's like an idea or a strategy or something just comes to you and suddenly you know exactly what to do next. So there's this moment of clarity that I'm seeing in this card. Again, I'm seeing some of you travel or get away by yourself to spend some time alone. I'm seeing some of you join like a sisterhood or like a brotherhood, depending on who you identify as, and joining a circle, like a healing circle type thing, where like-minded people go to sort of spend time together, heal, maybe even like a breathwork class. I'm seeing that, and I'm seeing it in like the outdoors. It could even be like a yoga class or a meditation class. And I'm seeing cocktails by the beach for someone in February as well. So if that's something that you do often, then that might not be a very interesting prediction. But if it's not something you do very often, then that might be really exciting and it might be something to look forward to. So we're going to finish off with the charms just to get even more little warnings or messages or predictions. And sometimes we get cool little synchronicities of what we've already got. So it might be a little bit loud as I mix them around, because I mix them and then I look away and I just pick a few out. But point being, turn off your sound for a sec if you don't like noise. All right, so any other predictions, warning, and blessings for Group 3 in February 2023? Okie dokie. So first thing I'm seeing here is the fork. Group 2 also got that as well. We've got a couple of the same things as Group 2, which is interesting. But anyway, fork in the road is what the fork makes me think of. And this is like you're coming to a point where you cannot stay on this path. You need to choose a different direction. Which way is it going to be? So you can't go any further here, and now you need to decide, what are you going to do next? You can go that way or you can go that way, but you cannot stay here. So that's the first message coming through. The next thing I'm getting out is the Wheel, which is making me think of the Wheel of Fortune that came out at the end of that section there, which is like a change in luck, a change in direction, a turning point. But yeah, I do feel like, you know, new direction is the highlight there. With the camera, once again am getting that message of you getting away or going on like a little vacay or road trip, or just staying somewhere nice, maybe taking a lot of photos of your surroundings, landscapes, things like that. Someone may even purchase a new camera for that purpose, because maybe that reconnects you to like an old hobby of like photography. Some of you may be taking pictures of animals. Some of you may be taking pictures of space, or looking at pictures of space or the earth from like a more distant view. Some of you may go to like an observatory in February. Some of you may be looking more into your birth chart in February to learn more out about yourself and your sort of your blueprint, so to speak. We have the little Chanel No. 5 perfume. So someone here could wear that perfume, or you could know someone who does, or you might get it as a gift in the month of February. Or this could be a sign that when you pick up on certain scents around you, this is like someone thinking of you, or like one of your past loved ones. Maybe you pick up on their scent from time to time, but you're not sure why. This is them sort of letting you know that they're there with you. Some of you might find a new signature scent in the month of February that you just love and you start to wear all the time. Or you might even meet someone that smells really good. That's even coming through. We also have the seahorse here. The only thing coming through with that, I just know that seahorses mate for life. So maybe this is like a little hint that the next person that you do meet, if it's a new person, like not if you go back to this person, but if you meet a new person, this could be a sign that, you know, this is like your life mate or your life partner. And then we have the little, I think it's a budgie or like a little bluebird or something. So I don't know if anybody here is like a bird watcher. Oh yeah, could be a bird watcher, could be going bird watching in February, or you could get a new, if you are a bird lover, you might get a new bird. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think anything's really, nothing too different is coming through with the message of that bird. Maybe where you go, there might be a lot of bird noises around you when you're traveling. But yeah, that's all that's coming through, guys. I'm going to end it here. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the reading. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you feel like doing so. And don't forget that I'm drawing the January gift card winner in the next few days. So it's your final chance to comment on any video and enter. I'll be replying to the winning comment to notify, as well as posting it on YouTube. And also it's the final week or so to join the February Raise Your Frequency workshop, which is a 7-day spiritual and personal growth program. You can join anywhere in the world. It's all done online through emails. So if you're interested in that, check out the details in the description box below. It goes from the 4th to the 11th of Feb, so only 7 days, but you can do it in your own time. That's fine. But anyways, guys, that's it from me. I do hope that you stay safe. Hope that you stay blessed. And until next time, I'm sending you love, light, and everything bright. Bye.